Dear children, today we have to learn in Standard 8 subject Social Science chapter number 12. The name of the chapter is India's Post-Independence. Now dear children, you know very well that in the previous lecture we have learned about the princely states. Also, we have learned about the merger of the princely state. In this, dear children, you know very well that at the time of the independence, there were the 562 princely states in our country, and India became a strong union as all these princely states had joined with the Indian Union territories. And this most important and challenging task was completed by the Vice Prime Minister and the Home Minister Sri Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel and his Secretary Sri V.P. Menon. Now dear children, today we have to learn about the Gandhiji assassination. What happened dear children? Today we have to learn about the Gandhiji assassination. It was only the 6th month since India has attained the independence when the entire nation received very big shock. What happened dear children? Here we can say that it was only how many months? 6 months. And dear children, you know very well that India was independent on 15th August 1947, and because of that, every year we all are celebrated as a 15th August as an Independence Day, and 26th January, dear children, we remember we all are celebrated as a Republic Day. So it was only the 6 months since the India had attained the independence when the entire nation received a very big shock. Now what happened then? After the 6th month, the India has received a very big shock. Many parts of the countries were hit by the nasty communal riots on account of the partition. And dear children, you know very well that when the India was independent on 15th August 1947, at that time India and Pakistan both are divided. And that time the communal riots on account of the partition between the nation. Gandhiji started a fasting to stop this riots. He appealed the people to maintain the peace and unity. What the Gandhiji was appeal? The Gandhiji was appeal the people to maintain the peace and unity. During this fasting in Birla House, while Gandhiji was going for his evening prayer on 13th January 1948, Nathuram Godse shot him dead. What happened dear children? They have to given that Gandhiji was going for his evening prayer on 13th January 1948. In 13th January 1948, at that time Nathuram Godse shot him dead. The entire nation went into the deep grief and the shock as they heard the sad news on radio announced by Jawaharlal Nehru. What happened there? When entire nation was shocked, when all the people heard this sad news on radio announced by Jawaharlal Nehru. Friends and comrades, the light has gone out of their life and there is a darkness everywhere. I do not know what to tell you and how to say it. What Jawaharlal Nehru had said, they have to say that I do not know what to tell you and how to say it. Our beloved leader, Bapu, as we called him, the father of the nation, is no more. So what happened dear children? All the nation said Gandhiji as a father of the nation. Now, Gandhiji believed in unity among all the classes and communities of the people for this. What happened dear children? We can say that the Gandhiji was believed among all the communities and the all classes into the unity. He sacrificed his whole life. Gandhiji's funeral rites were performed in Delhi. What happened dear children? Gandhiji's funeral rites were performed in Delhi, and grieving the people joining the funeral to pay their homage. Now next one, dear children, they have given about the repatriation of the refugee. What they have given there, dear children? They have given about the repatriation of the refugee. Now dear children, they have given that lakh of people came to India from the Pakistan. What happened there, dear children? Lakh of people came to the India from the Pakistan. The settlement and employment was the biggest challenge for the government. What happened that, dear children? At that time, the government has faced the biggest challenge for the employment as well as the settlement of that refugee people. The India made the many successful. People were given as many facility as possible. What happened that, dear children? At that time, the people has also given the many facility as much as possible. Use refugee camps were open. What happened there at that time? Use refugee camps were open. So we can say that use refugee camps were open for the people who came from the Pakistan. And they were given not only the shelter and the food, but also given the love as well as the compensation to those people. And because of that, we can say that the common people and various organizations at that time also helped the government. What happened that, dear children? We can say that common people and various organizations also help the government, and people are helping those refugees by providing shelter, food, and also providing the love and compensation towards them. Thus, we can say that these people could integrate easily with the fellows Indians. Now, next one, dear children, they have given about the Constitution of India and its implementation. What they have given there, dear children? They have given about the Constitution of India and its implementation. We can say that the Constitution Assembly was formed in 1946. What happened there? They have to given that this Constitution Assembly was formed in 1946. Its main objective is to frame Constitution for the independence India. So what happened there, dear children? We can say that the Constitution Assembly was formed in 1946, and the main aim of this Constitution Assembly there, they have to frame one Constitution for the independent India. This work was continued up to the December 1949. Now what happened there, dear children? This work for framing the Constitution is done up to the December 1949. Each point, each clause was extensively discussed in the debates. This assembly meet for the 11th session along with 166 days of the meeting. What happened there, dear children? At that time, this assembly meet for the 11th session along with 166 days of the meetings. And because of that, we can say that the various committee and the subcommittee did not work for correcting and mending the details of the Constitution. What happened there, dear children? We can say that at that time the various committee as well as the subcommittee did the work for the correcting and the mending the detail of the Constitution. 300 Indian participate in this process. What happened there? To preparing in the frame Constitution at that time, 300 Indians are participated. Through the meeting released to the drafting of this Constitution held in Delhi, but the member came from all over the nation. Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar was appointed as the chairman of this drafting committee. Dear children, remember, underline in your textbook. What they have given there? Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Baba Saheb Ambedkar was appointed as the chairman of this drafting committee. And Dr. Rajendra Prasad was appointed as the president of Constitutional Assembly. Underlining. What happened then, dear children? Remember them. Who is the chairman of this drafting committee? Then Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar. And who is the president of this Constitutional Assembly at that time? Dr. Rajendra Prasad. The Constitution was prepared and passed by the Constitution Assembly, and this constitution was implemented on 26 January 1950. This was the day when actual power were wielded to the people. So what happened then, dear children? We can say that our constitution was implemented in India on 26 January 1950. So every year, dear children, 26th January is celebrated as a Republic Day, wherever the 15th August is celebrated as an Independence Day. Dear children, be remember, careful and learn. Underline in your textbook. There is no chance of the confusion. In 26th January, dear children, we all are celebrated as a Republic Day, and on 15th August we all are celebrated as a Independence Day. These 2 days are renowned as our national festivals. British Governor General Mountbatten returned to the England, and after him C. Rajgopalachari became the Governor General. He was the last Governor General of India after the Constitution was enforced, and Dr. Rajendra Prasad became the first president of our country. So who is the first president after the independence of our country, dear children? Then remember that Dr. Rajendra Prasad became the first president of our country. Thank you, dear children.